One thing I find I have to often undo in students that are coming to traditional astrology from having learned modern astrology is this kind of confluence between a planet, a sign, and a house. And we call it the ABC of astrology. And what I mean by that is when we say Aries, Mars, and the first house are kind of all the same things. But in actuality, they're not. Signs and houses and planets all have very different functions and different qualities. And if you want to do really rich, meaningful astrology, you kind of need to understand them as separate entities and then learn how to layer them up unique and relevant to the specific birth chart that you're having a look at. And so when students submit their assignments, sometimes they'll say things like, Saturn rules the 10th house, but we're looking at a chart that might have Libra on the 10th house. And I always get confused, and then I have to remind myself this student's coming in from a modern background and we're trying to apply some traditional techniques here. And so in a chart where Libra is on the 10th house, the planet that actually rules the 10th house and is therefore going to have an impact on career will be Venus, the ruling planet of Libra. So even though there is a little bit in some circumstances, there's a little bit of connection between maybe a sign and a house. You know, certainly Scorpio is a sign about depth, and the 8th house definitely has that deeper, go beneath the surface quality. There's a lot more to both Scorpio and the 8th house that doesn't cross over, if you like. And so one thing I'd invite you to do if you want to make your astrology really deep, really nuanced, and very much about you, the individual, rather than more of that general tone, is to look at layering up the signs and the houses in your birth chart as they are arranged. So if you have a Taurus ascendant, that's going to mean you have Scorpio descendant, which means that a planet that has a big impact on relationships for you is going to be the ruler of Scorpio, which is Mars. In a chart like that, where Taurus is the ascendant sign, Venus is actually going to be a planet that tells us about you, in addition to giving some information about relationships. And this is just starting to give you a clue of how individual and how specific traditional astrology approaches to chart interpretation can be. So one thing that's really good to let go of if you are wanting to improve your birth chart work is this ABC, where you think Saturn, Capricorn, and the 10th house are all the same thing. Because you'll find in many, many charts that you look at, Capricorn and Saturn don't have any connection to the 10th house or career. And if you're looking to those parts, that sign and that planet for information on career, you're going to actually end up in the wrong place or in the wrong direction. So just a very simple traditional astrology swap, if you like, or hack that you can use to improve your chart interpretation. So good luck with that.